Hi, I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac. We open on a typical Wednesday in Gotham City. A group of people are touring City Hall.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the original charter of Gotham City. Due to its excessive age and delicate condition, it has been sealed in this guaranteed burglar-proof display case, which has been vacuum sealed to protect such a valuable document.
Oh, guide.
Well, they certainly look like tourists. Nothing unusual about that bunch.
Are you absolutely certain it's burglar-proof?
Absolutely. And now, if you'll step this way, please.
Dear expert, he has much to learn.
He really said eggspert. This is going to be bad, isn't it?
No material can resist my incomparable explosive.
It's shaped like an egg. Yes, this is going to be bad.
And now, let us make our exit.
An exit is what a teenage egg gets. I can be awful too. Commissioner Gordon is outraged.
Impossible. That a criminal could march in and purloin Gotham City's most priceless possession right under our nostrils?
But why, Commissioner? That's what I can't figure out.
Nor can I, O'Hara, nor can I. What did the witnesses say?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They all agreed on one thing, his description. It was Egghead, all right.
The rottenest egg of them all.
Okay, the egg puns are getting excruciating.
Any suggestions, O'Hara?
Well, it isn't so bad facing thieves, murderers, run-of-the-mill crooks, but...
I know it seems we call on the Cape Crusader pretty often. There's no other way to handle it.
It's easy facing all those violent crimes, but a guy who doesn't do any of that? Too much for us. At stately Wayne Manor, millionaire Bruce Wayne is giving his youthful ward Dick Grayson an exposition dump.
You see, Dick, many years ago, Gotham City was founded by three families who landed at Gotham Rock.
The Savages, the Tylers, and the Waynes.
Right. The original land was leased from the Mohican Indians for the price of 9 raccoon pelts.
The Mohican Indians. They lived around the Hudson River until the Europeans came and forcibly relocated them to Wisconsin after the American Revolution. So this story had to happen before that. Let's see just how bad this is going to get.
Wow, what a deal that was.
Every 5 years, the lease has to be renewed. The city charter is very specific about honoring that debt. Tonight is the night to make payments, so Pete Savage, Tim Tyler, and I, the descendants of the original settlers, have to deliver 3 raccoon pelts each to Chief Screaming Chicken.
That's it, I'm out of here. Crap, locked.
In order to fulfill the obligation.
Gosh, where'd you get the pelts?
I had to buy a whole raccoon coat from a very popular crooner of the 1920s who'd fallen on hard times. Had to pay a pretty price for it, too.
This one's held up very well for a raccoon.
Thankfully, Alfred interrupts. To the bat poles.
He's assuredly the smartest villain we've ever faced.
Was there any evidence left at the scene of the crime?
None, boy wonder. Frankly, was stumped.
So that's his gig. He's smart. With that conehead wannabe head, of course he has to be. So why does he want the charter?
The Gotham City Charter.
What does it say?
Aside from its constitutional edicts, its purpose is to act as a treaty between the Mohican Indians and the founders.
Holy Bill of Rights. Maybe Egghead wants to start a war between the Gotham City citizens and the Indians.
I rather doubt it, Robin. There's only one Indian left. He'd be outnumbered 10 million to 1.
Only one left. That raises so many questions. But let's just see where this goes.
I think it has something to do with the leasing conditions.
That probably means that Egghead will make a deal with Peter Savage, Tim Tyler, or Bruce Wayne.
Egghead does not make deals.
They start sorting out where the 3 men are. Peter Savage is at home and Tim Tyler is watching his baseball team play.
Well, that leaves only Bruce Wayne.
I wonder where he is.
Unquestionably out doing something inconsequential with his youthful ward, Dick Grayson. You know how those millionaire playboys are. Let's go, Robin.
Where to? To the teepee of Screaming Chicken, last of the Mohicans.
This is getting painful on so many levels. Last of the Mohicans. That'd make a good book title, don't you think? But leave out the Screaming Chicken part. And did he say teepee? Please tell me I heard him wrong.
Meanwhile, behind the doors of an apparently legitimate import firm.
I assume you saw the name on the door. If you're not familiar with that first word, it's a famous parody of English phonetic spelling. It says fish. If you can't figure out how, don't worry, Batman is going to explain it to Robin in excessive detail later on.
Excellent. I might even go so far as to say exquisite.
Well, what you got in mind, boss? This thing just looks like some old piece of paper to me.
That's because you have no foresight, Benedict.
Not everybody's as smart as you are, Egghead.
Not anybody is as smart as I am, Fu Young.
I hope we all caught that his henchmen are named Benedict and Fu Young. I was wrong, this isn't bad. Bad would be much better than this.
Please, don't talk so fast.
What's she following us around for all the time? I don't like dames on capers.
Fortunately, not everyone thinks like that, Mr. Benedict. Hi, Eggy baby.
Please, it's Mr. Egghead before other people, not Eggy baby.
She's there to massage his scalp. No, she's there to write down everything he says because everything he says is worth preserving for posterity. And her name, by the way, is Miss Bacon.
Don't you know who the representative of the Mohicans is?
Oh, you mean that little guy that's got the blanket concession out on the highway?
Exactly. Chief Screaming Chicken. The last of the Mohicans.
Yeah, we heard that from Batman. Only Vincent Price said it better. This does not bode well.
How?
What?
When?
Where?
You are only person in Gotham City who know traditional Mohican greeting.
Edward Everett Horton. Him old enough know better. Why him talk so funny?
Me think price too low for Gotham City. 9 raccoon pelts. Cost of living go up and up. Me want 12 raccoon pelts.
The contract was for 9.
Indian poor businessman. My cousin, he sell Manhattan for $24. Could have got 35.
I cannot find the words to describe how embarrassing this is. As a kid, I was fascinated by the American Indian tribes, the way they lived, their languages, all that stuff. I lived on the West Coast, so I knew a little about the original inhabitants there, but my favorites were the Plains tribes, especially the Sioux. They lived in teepees and wore eagle feather headdresses and all the rest. Gotham City is supposed to be on the East Coast. The Mohicans were an East Coast tribe, and even after their relocation, they weren't in the Plains. And they never lived in teepees. Like most of the other East Coast tribes, they built longhouses. They were not nomadic, hence no need for a portable shelter like a teepee. And no original American ever talked like that. White people like to make fun of them with that kind of speech because they consider them savages, sometimes subhuman. I have to admit, as much as I love this show, I'm thoroughly disappointed that they pulled out the stereotypes like this. By 1966, they knew better. Chief Let's Go for the Cheap Joke assures Batman that he'll be at the ceremony, and Batman leaves.
A magnificent exhibition, Chief Screaming Chicken. When I am done with you, you will be able to exercise your most extravagant desires. If you give me an exclusive lease on Gotham City.
Me no give you lease. Not until tonight. Me honor bound if paid 9 raccoon pelt.
And if not?
Me deal with highest bidder.
Egghead assures him that one of the men won't show up, but the chief doesn't believe it.
You make mighty big talk. Kino sabi.
Kimosabi? I thought I heard just about everything.
Yeah, screaming, what's that mean?
Me no. Me hear it once on radio. Very old word.
I'm just gonna go shoot myself now. Batman and Robin are looking for new egg-related companies that have appeared in the area, but they're coming up empty.
Of course. What kind of company sells eggs that you can't fry, scramble, or boil?
A fish egg company.
Right, Robin. Let's see what that brings.
Looking for new caviar companies brings back a hit.
The Gotham City Caviar Company. Earth means eggs in French, but I don't get this other word at all.
The word is fish, Robin.
Gotai is fish?
See here.
Holy semantics, Batman. You never cease to amaze me.
He's read George Bernard Shaw, which Dick should have by now. How superhuman. If he was really that great, he would have explained potato.
Oh, you're making a fine deal, Chief Screaming Chicken. $100 a month for life and all the eggs you can eat.
Me 60 years old now. Me need pension.
You 60? I hope I look that good when I'm 60.
Excuse me? I'm 63. He looks like 163. He looks like crap. Maybe it's all the red makeup.
Well, I have great expectations for our relationship, Chief. I tell you what I'll give you as an added bonus. You may have the import-export concession for all genuine American Indian blankets made in Japan.
Oh, you are one heck of fine paleface. Yeah. You know Indian giver?
Oh, no. Eggy Baby never gave an Indian anything.
Well,
this is killing me.
I, for one, am exhausted. It's been a trying day, and I must rest my fantastic brain for tonight.
There'll be no rest for the wicked today, Egghead.
Boy, you guys have egg on your faces.
All the king's horses and all the king's men won't be able to put you together again.
Oh, Batman, you're so lyrical.
I suppose it's better than the Native American stereotype. So as I like to say on my other show, just go with it. That's different. Usually the big boss who's smarter than everybody else stands back and lets the goons do the fighting. Egghead's in there mixing it up with the rest of them.
Well, that's enough exercise for one day, Batman.
You know, stop me, give boy Wonder very short haircut.
What looks like a pair of lawyers just overpowered Robin.
You, chicken, turn chicken? Have you joined the enemy camp as well?
This is an acid egg, Batman. One move and I'll drop it on Robin's head.
Nobody could be that rotten.
Don't tempt me.
Yes, the Vincent Price voice. I'm glad he slipped it in there.
You put all your eggs in one basket, Egghead. A fatal mistake.
Prepare yourself for an egg-speditious defeat.
That's very apt, Robin.
Oh, glad you liked it.
That means I get ice cream on the way home, right?
Well, see how you like this.
What is it, Batman?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's awfully funny.
That's the weirdest acid I ever saw. It looks just like laughing gas. So either he lied about what it does, or he can change what it does with the power of his amazing brain. I'm gonna go with that.
Let's go after them. No, not now, Jeff. In our condition, or do us again. Here, take this. It's a sad pill to neutralize the laughing gas.
Batman carries sad pills.
It'll clear our minds. Well, he may have won the first round. but we're going to fight fire with fire. Robin?
You may be asking yourself, why didn't he just use his universal drug antidote pills? Because that wouldn't allow him to do this gag.
We'll never beat Egghead with brute strength. We must outthink him.
In the Batcave, Batman reasons that Egghead must be planning to keep one, two, or all three men from attending the ceremony. He calls Pete Savage and asks him, as Bruce Wayne, if he's going to be there.
Certainement I'll be there. You're gonna marshal this year, aren't you?
Yes, it should be fun. It's nice to have you back in town, Pete.
Be it ever so humble, there is no place like Gotham City.
Au revoir, Pete.
Au revoir, mon vieux. Au revoir.
Very good, Mr. Savage.
With that accent, shouldn't his name be Sauvage? He calls Tim Tyler, who gives him the same answer and under the same coercion, as we see.
You demonstrated unexpected good sense, Mr. Tyler.
What do you want from me, Egghead? I am just a poor Major League Baseball team owner.
How about season tickets? I love halfbacks.
How exasperating.
How about a script with some jokes that are actually funny? It feels like we're writing this episode for a children's show. That's not what this was. How this script made it to the show is beyond me. Later, Bruce and Dick are waiting for their escort to the ceremony.
I'll never understand why Chief Screaming Chicken decided to put in with Egghead.
He told me once that he worked for a while as a bottle washer. He had an argument with the boss who told him to go back to his own country.
But this is his country.
Exactly. Any wonder why Chief Screaming Chicken is dissatisfied?
If you're going to make a statement like that, don't make him such a stereotype. Make him a real person, and don't use a white man in red face either. Use a real Native American, or Indian as we said at the time. Shoot, Jay Silverheels was still around after the Lone Ranger ended and he was looking for work. Why not get him? I don't understand. As it turns out, Egghead is driving the limo. All three men plus Dick are in the back with no way out and he gasses them into dreamland. When they wake up, Bruce is in some kind of contraption.
Long ago, my superior intellect deduced that Batman must be a person who was a millionaire and didn't have to work because crime fighting is such an expensive hobby.
Thank you! Somebody finally figured that out!
Which one is it, Eggy baby?
Please, Miss Bacon. All of you are approximately the right age, in your early 30s. But I've eliminated you, Mr. Tyler, because you're left-handed. No, the Caped Crusader is not a port-sider, and you, Mr. Savage...
That's Sauvage.
...are out because of your accent. So aside from a couple of aging rock and roll singers, you, Mr. Wayne, are the only Gotham City millionaire who is athletically inclined with excessive agility. Therefore, you must be Batman.
The thing Bruce is in is supposed to suck all the thoughts, knowledge, and everything else out of his head and put it into the head of the person in the other chair, which is to say, Egghead. The process leaves the subject an empty hulk, basically Jeff Fahey at the end of Lawnmower Man. So not only will Egghead learn that Bruce is indeed Batman, he'll destroy him and Batman in the process. Don't miss our next episode of Robin the Boy Wonder. Oh wait, never mind, it's cliffhanger time.
How diabolical, how inhuman, how excruciating will the world's greatest criminal mind extract the true identity of Batman? The explanation to these and other electric questions tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
I don't know what to say about this one that I haven't already. I had no idea so many words started with something that could be made into egg. And I have a question about this whole treaty business. Screaming Chicken is the last of his tribe, right? The deal is between the remaining members of the tribe and descendants of the three families. Screaming Chicken is 60 going on eternity. What happens when he dies and there are no more Mohicans? What happens to the treaty? Who owns the place? What would have happened if one of the families had died out? Bruce doesn't have a descendant. He's Dick's guardian, not his legal father. How does that affect things? This plot is like a net. It's a bunch of holes strung together. No way any court in the country would consider something like this legally binding now. If it was just a ceremonial thing, I could see it. But they're talking about way more than that, as we'll see. So tune in next time and let's get this over with.